Hello everyone, this is the 7th lecture on the 5th unit of the mechanical measurement and metrology, and today we are going to continue with the strain measurement and we are going to check out the gauge factor. So the content of this specific lecture are gauge factor and the theory of gauge factor, where we are going to check out how to measure the gauge factor. So let us start with the gauge factor. What exactly a gauge factor is? Now when we talk about the gauge factor, it serves as a very important parameter when it comes to the strain gauges, because it basically measures the amount of change of the resistance for the given strain. So it also serves as the index of the strain sensitivity of the gauge. What do we understand from the index of the strain sensitivity? It basically gives us the idea about how sensitive the gauge is, and that is why this gauge factor is also known as the strain sensitivity factor. Now if you want to define the gauge factor in the mathematical terms, we can say that the fractional change in the resistance divided by the strain, which is indicated by dl by L, is known as the gauge factor. Okay, once again I am repeating, the fractional change in the resistance divided by the strain or unit strain is known as the gauge factor. So this is the equation of the gauge factor. And when we talk about the gauge factor, the higher gauge factor will give us two major advantages. Very first, the higher gauge factor basically represents the higher sensitivity of the gauge. Higher factor, higher sensitivity; low factor, low sensitivity. But when there is a higher gauge factor, it also offers one more thing which is very important, that is the higher electrical output. And that higher electrical output will be very helpful when it comes to the recording and the indication. Okay, so that's why the higher gauge factor is actually recommended. Now the question arises, when you will get that gauge factor? Now normally when we talk about the buying purpose, okay, the manufacturer will provide the value of the gauge factors directly. Okay, so there is no need to find out the gauge factor for the each and every resistance gauge, but manufacturer will provide it. Okay, and the range of that particular gauge factor will vary from 1.7 to 4. But when it comes to the manufacturing that particular gauge, we need to actually find out the gauge factor as a manufacturer. Now let us talk about the material and the gauge factor. When it comes to metallic materials, normally the gauge factors are lower as there is a lower resistivity. But if we want the higher gauge factor, we should go to the semiconductor materials. So this is all about the material part, or say gauge factor introduction parts. Now let us talk about how to measure the gauge factor. Now over here I am going to give you some of the basic equations which will be needed to measure the gauge factor. We are going to derive the theory of the gauge factor. But before deriving the theory, we will need some of the basic equation. So for that, over here, let us assume that there is a wire available which is available over here. The first end is fixed and the second end is free. Now this particular wire is having a circular cross-sectional area. This is what we have assumed. The length of this particular wire is L and the diameter of this particular wire is D. So this is what we are having. Now whenever some force is applied on this particular wire, what is going to happen? The wire is going to get elongated. Something like this. Let me say this particular elongation will give the extra length of dl. So the ultimate final length will be L plus dl, and it will reduce some diameter which is dd. So the minor diameter will reduce, ultimate diameter will be capital D minus dd. Okay, so this is the initial figure and this is the final figure. for your observation purpose. Let us check out the very first equation that we needed. The equation is Poisson's ratio. Now Poisson's ratio is derived like this: the lateral strain divided by the longitudinal strain is known as the Poisson's ratio. So what is the lateral strain? Lateral strain is basically the lateral changes in the dimensions divided by the actual dimension. So we can say it will be change in the dimension divided by actual dimension. So this is the lateral strain divided by the longitudinal strain. So that will be the along the length. So change in the dimension along the length. So actually the change in the dimension along the length is dl divided by the actual length. The actual length was L. So this is the L. So the final equation of the Poisson's ratio is mu is equal to lateral strain divided by the longitudinal strain. Now the second equation that we are going to require is the resistance of the material. The resistance is actually given by rho L by A, where the rho is the resistivity of the material. Now the question arises, what is the resistivity? The resistivity is basically the resistance per the unit length and the cross sectional area. So this is what the resistivity is. The L is basically the length of that particular material, and A is the cross sectional area of that material, which is basically pi by 4 into d square. Okay, so this is what we are having. The cross sectional area of that particular bar, of this particular bar, can be indicated by pi by 4 d square. Now the last one is the gauge factor. Gauge factor is basically indicated as we saw in the previous slide. It is basically F is equal to dr by r divided by dl by l. So this is how the gauge factor is indicated. Lastly, these are some of the equations that we are going to need. There are some conversions. Okay, so when we talk about the differentiation of the log base e, output will be 1 upon x. Okay, so this is what we are going to need. When we talk about the log of the multiplication, in that case you need to remember that the log will be something like this. So multiplier will be converted into addition, okay, when we want to separate these values, and the division will be converted into subtraction. Okay, so these are some of the most important equations that we are going to need for the derivation of the theory. So let us start with the theory of the resistance strain gauges. So very firstly we are going to take the equation of the resistance that we have seen. So the equation of resistance is given by R is equal to rho L by A, where we have seen that A is equal to what? Pi by 4 d square. Okay, so this is what the equation that we are having. As this particular value over here is the constant value, what I am going to do, I am going to write down capital C as a constant into d square over here. Okay, so the C represents the pi by 4 value, okay, and this is a d square as original. Now next we are going to take the log base e of the whole equation. So ultimately what is going to happen, the log base e can be written something like this: log base er is equal to, first one, the log of rho. Now as the L is in the multiplication, it will be added over here, so the log of L, and as A is in the subtraction, or division, it will be added as a subtraction over here. So this is the log of A. Okay, so this is what we have received. Now second thing that we are going to differentiate the whole equation. So by differentiating what we are going to receive, so the differentiation of the log will be 1 upon r. So the 1 log base er will be 1 upon r multiplied by the differentiation of r once again. That is equal to, over here for all three the things are going to be remain same. So 1 upon rho into d rho plus 1 upon L into dl minus 1 upon A into dA. Okay, but over here as we observe that the value of A is equal to CD square. So let us check out, if I put this value CD square to this equation, what will happen. So let us start with that. I will just derive the equation over here. So 1 upon A into dA, I want the value of this equation. Okay, so that is equal to, I will put this value CD square over here. So over here this is 1 upon CD square into the differentiation of CD square. That is equal to, this 1 upon CD square is going to remain same, multiplied by, over here this C is basically what, pi by 4, which is the constant value. So I am going to put this C outside and I will do the differentiation of d square only. So it will give us the value of 2 times d, okay, multiplied by differentiation of d. Now let us reduce the values. So over here this C and C are going to cancel out, 1d and this d will also get cancelled out. So ultimately what we have received, the value that we have received is 2 into differentiation of d divided by d. This is what we are having instead of 1 upon A into dA. So let us replace this particular value in this given equation. So what we are going to do over here, for the simplification purpose, I am going to put dr by r instead of 1 upon r into dr. We are going to do the same thing throughout the equation. So what I am going to receive over here, d rho by rho plus dl by L minus, instead of 1 upon A into dA, I will put my derived value, which is actually 2 times differentiation of d divided by d. Now over here what I am going to do, I am going to divide the whole value with dl by L. Now why I am doing this thing? As you can observe, this is dr by r available. If I divide this value by dl by L, what I am going to receive? I am going to receive the gauge factor directly, and this is what I want. This is why I am solving this particular theory. Okay, so I will divide the whole equation with the value dl by L. So what I am going to receive? I am going to receive dr by r divided by dl by L is equal to, over here this will be the d rho by rho divided by dl by L plus dl by L divided by dl by L minus 2 times differentiation of d divided by d divided by dl by L. This is what I have received. Now over here you can observe that this particular equation that is over here is actually the gauge factor equation. So I can write down the value f over here because this is the gauge factor. That is equal to, now this is not any kind of equation, so I will write down as it is, d rho by rho divided by dl by L plus, both this value are going to cancel out each other. So ultimately I am going to get 1 as the answer, minus, over here you can observe that this particular value is actually the Poisson's ratio. So I will write down this as plus 2 mu, okay, because the Poisson's ratio is normally negative. Whatever you see over here, this value is normally negative. Minus is written below before this particular equation. Okay, so this is my Poisson's ratio. Okay, and this is the final equation that I have received for all the materials. Okay, so you need to remember this. This is the equation of the strain gauge factor. Okay, or you can say gauge factor, and this is for the all the materials. Now over here you can see there are total 3 components available. Very first component is the d rho by rho component. Sorry, d rho by rho divided by dl by L component. This particular component is basically what? It is basically the resistance change due to the resistivity change. Now, how I observe this component like this? Because you can observe that this equation has started with this one, the resistivity. Okay, so the change in the resistance due to the change in the resistivity is basically this element, this particular part. Now, this particular part is unit. The second part is actually unit, single one. But still, what is this particular equation? This particular part is basically the resistance change due to the length change. Length change. This was basically the resistivity change. Resistivity. This is basically the change of the resistance. And the third element you can see over here is basically due to which particular part? This is the third part, and this particular part shows us the resistance change due to the area change. Okay, so the whole changes in the resistance basically comes out due to the 3 elements. Very first is the resistivity change, second is the change in the length, and third is the change in the area. Okay, so when some materials says that there is no change in the resistivity, in that case value will be 0 over here. The same thing happens in case of the metals. When we talk about the metals, okay, the metals basically having no resistivity change whenever there is a change in the strain, and that's why for the metals the value of d rho by rho by dl by L is going to be 0. So the final equation is going to be something like this. The gauge factor F is equal to 1 plus 2 mu. Okay, so remember, for the metals normally F is equal to 1 plus 2 mu, and for all the other materials whenever there is a resistance change due to resistivity is there, in that case you have to use the first equation that we have derived over here. Okay, so this is the end of this particular session. We will continue with the strain gauges in the next session. Till then, keep studying. Have a good day.